Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of the Ottomans in Europa Universalis IV. Now this episode, I will be recovering my army, most hopefully. And quite possibly seeing through a few bigger changes in my Ottoman Empire, since I won't be going for the Levant area just yet. Actually, I should have accepted that. Since if I have an alliance with Tunis, it might enable me to pull them to the war against the Mamluks, even though they are allied with the Mamluks, who I'm kind of surprised don't outright hate them. Now I'm finally going to annex Athens. Now, fighting the Mamluks in Tunisia might actually be relatively easy, since if I can lock down these two areas and siege up here, I should be able to force them. I should be able to force them back constantly. That is not what I need. But then again, it doesn't really have an effect. So I'm going to take this mission because I definitely need it. I shouldn't have taken that because that was a pretty bad idea. Some extra base tax, a lot of money, but I could get quite a bit of manpower from it. But that base tax in the long term is much better. Plus that extra piety is gonna... Let's see what pushes me towards. Missionary strength, the morale of armies and forts. Pakistan is national manpower modifier, national tax and technology cost. That one base tax was all it took to force this out of accepted codes. That much more difficult to convert, though it's still possible. Either way, I don't expect any wars for a while, so it's going to be on speed 5 to try and get out of this period as quickly as possible. Now it's only one more army that has to build back up. So I think actually I will be continuing to go for the QQ, mainly to take these northern lands here and this here, and hopefully begin taking Iraq a bit before. Well, I do want to go a bit historically. Taking all of these areas here are going to be my main priority. And the Orthodox Zealots, I think, will not rise up, since this will be converted before I finish that. So I have no real concerns. Since I am ahead, due to a currently relatively terrible king in terms of military, I am at a disadvantage, and the constant wars of QQ have not put me in a good way. So let's see how much the Mamluks actually have. The Mamluks have 32,000, pretty fair amount. I do have more. Now, with tourists behind them as well, they'll have an extra 16,000. So at 46,000, they can compete, though not immensely well. Once I have all Syria and such, or the Levant, they'd be very easy to take out. As that is some very rich land, including like 7 base stacks. I'll make those part of my mercenary army, just to get you up to 10-4 ratio. Though I do have cannons available. I'm going to convert tribes on and try and begin to religiously unite as far as here. The Coptic region I'll deal with a little bit later. This, I think, will be easily converted. I'll begin getting all this dealt with. Now we're beginning to gain manpower again. I'm going to get a few base tax related buildings just to hopefully get my force limit up a little bit. Mainly due to the fact that I have a good admin king and plenty of money. Let's get you there. Hopefully just before this goddamn kicks off. That's basically just gonna, for any manpower I've gained, is this gonna go into the bin. Now, I can deal with those ducats. Now I know it is kind of anti-Ottoman to not want to expand everywhere. Quite frankly, I don't just want the snowball through the game, like some people aim to. Like, I've started as a relatively strong power. I've grown stronger, though not massively so. I do want to conquer Egypt, which is a very rich region, and then go east. But I don't want to do it at a very accelerated rate, because that might just make it very, very hard to stop me late game, even if I have got terrible units compared to Western powers. England is kind of failing here. Plus Ireland might even unite. Well, that's... Ooh. So Leinster and Connacht have risen to prominent positions. And there's rebels in Meath as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, those look like pretender rebels. Those are pretender rebels in Meath. So that's a few years ahead, so I guess I'll take the idea. Recruitment time goes down. Puts me a bit closer to the Ottoman tolerance. So So, main idea I'm interested in is Gehazi. And the Timur riot system is also pretty good, as the cav combat ability is okay, though I don't use it very much. This is nice. This is very nice. National trade income's also pretty nice, and so's the ship cost. Now, land force limit modifier that they get eventually is absolutely awesome, as I love my force limit, and you're gonna have to rely on it as well. I've literally just brought the force limit up to what I currently own. So, it's time I disband my mercenaries. Even if they are very nice. And begin building cannons. I've ran out of manpower, again. Now, 6 cannons early on is kind of pointless apart from sieging, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So when I begin upgrading, I don't have to just focus on building new cannons. Plus, combat limit at the times in mountainous terrain, the cannons are just gonna go behind everything else. So yeah, that's right. I'm making quite a few pieces of gold. Those cannons in the Eastern armies will put me the force limit for those, which I'm quite satisfied about. My manpower's going up. And let's get that extra man. And now that I've got Tunis as an ally, I can be quite confident in knowing that if Mamluks attack me, Tunis is going to join my side. It also works that if I take on the Mamluks, I break the alliance with Tunis. Well, that was pretty fast. But either way, I'm basically not going to be attacked by the Mamluks anytime soon. So let's assemble these new armies. Okay. Maybe due to the fact that these are very poor provinces that I can't support my army over there. So, the final 6 cannons, I should be able to support even if it does put me with my force limit. If I can't, I do have enough money to probably deal with it. I think I will begin destroying the QQ yet again. And ooh, what's Venice been doing? They've conquered a bit of... What's happened here? They've lost a lot of land, yet they've somehow managed to Annoy everyone. Let's see what their coalition map looks like. Holy hell! What have they done? Well, it's AI, so I suppose it's allowed to be weird. Either way, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you all for watching.